Clogs. Some might think they're funny, but I think that they are the absolute best shop shoes you could ask for. Hey y'all, I'm James Wright and welcome to my shop. For a while now I have been wanting to have wooden shoes in the shop. They are safe, so if I drop something they don't hurt my feet. I can slide them on and off as I come and go from the shop easily, and they're just all around very good shop shoes. Well, a friend of mine from the Netherlands, Rob from Rob's Wood Shop, I'll leave a link to his channel in the description below. He sent me a set of shoes from the Netherlands, Clogs, and I love them. And I've been wearing them in the shop for the last couple months. They're extremely comfortable, they're very safe, and they're a lot of fun to use. But I wanted to carve them and do some detail work in them. Well, another friend of mine, Sean Rubino, which you've probably seen his channel, I'll leave a link to his as well. But he sent me these, which, well, they're too small for me, but they had a great design in them, and I just love them, and they gave me some inspiration. And then on top of all of that, this guy named Shogun Jimmy challenged me to a carving contest, and I figured that this would be the perfect time to actually carve some clogs. So this is a contest with Shogun Jimmy and the Woodworking Junkie, and all three of us are going to be doing a carving of our own desire, and we will actually be judging that and seeing who can do the best carving. So let's jump into this and carve some clogs. Now this is a project I have wanted to do for a long time. These shoes are made out of poplar, which is a fairly easy wood to carve, fairly forgiving. It's a little bit splintery in comparison to like basswood, but it works fairly well. I'm just starting by putting out some lines. I'm using my finger as basically a marking gauge to run a line all the way around the edge of the opening of the shoes. And I'm playing with what I like, and I'll make marks and take them out and make other marks and take them out. But here I'm using a compass to draw a circle. I have several circles in this. It's a common motif in these shoes, and I wanted to put several of them into this design as well. Whenever I need to make a straight line on these curved surfaces, I found a piece of belt sander belt. Works perfectly. It concaves to the curvatures of the shoe, but also is stiff enough that it provides a nice straight edge for the pencil lead to ride along. Ends up being fairly good. Now, a lot of this is just experimenting, and I'm playing with different tools, different techniques, different ways. Basically, in chip carving, you cut in from one side and then you cut in from the other side, and the two depths of cut meet in the bottom, and this chip magically pops out. So I'm trying different things with a straight chisel and with a knife. Most chip carving is traditionally done with a knife, and I ended up using the knife quite a bit. I also did some with a V-gouge, but not as much once I finally get into it. Most everything I did was with a knife and with this small skewed chisel. I really like this skewed chisel. Made chip carving fantastic. Just a beautiful, sharp, pointy chisel. I could use it almost like a spear to push into the geometric shapes. So I'm basically taking this section by section, slowly working around it, and using the chisel and knife to push in from one side, then push in from the other side, and you can see how the chips basically just lift out. And if you cut from all sides, then you just get this magical chip that pops out, and it's a really kind of a cool thing when it actually comes out in one solid piece. But it's a lot of little playing back and forth and learning how the wood works and how the tools work. And experimentation really is one of the best teachers here. If you mess up, oh well, you just learned more, and you can make the next one better. So the same thing with the knife. I'm coming in from one side, and I can use this for a lot more of the scoring cuts. I found a lot of the longer cuts the knife was fantastic for, whereas some of the small sides the chisel actually was a little more efficient. But yeah, for the big circle in the front, I wanted to put in this Trinity, the Celtic Trinity, and I love this design. It is a very simple and beautiful design, and I like putting it in a lot of my work. But I use this pattern that I put on with a glue stick onto some masking tape so that I could very easily remove it after the carving is done. And then I'm coming in with a V-gouge and following on either of the lines to outline the shape. And then when I peel the pattern off afterwards, I am left with the carving underneath. I want to do a Celtic rope twist all the way around the shoe underneath all the chip carving. I really love this design and how it brings things to life. And in this case, I couldn't put the masking tape on it. It was just too curved. So I just put it straight onto the wood with a glue stick. And the pattern, you can see I've made a whole bunch of cuts in it so that it will flex and bend around the shape, because it's a very live feeling. So if you ever have something with a curved edge, this is a great way of making the Celtic rope wrap all the way around the curved edge. And then just like with the Trinity, I am coming in with a V-gouge and following on either side of this fat line. And it really goes fairly quickly. I think it took me about 30 minutes for either shoe, 30 or 40 minutes, something like that, for this rope. Went fairly well. I think the entire project total is about 14 hours of carving. A really fun time, but the rope carving went very, very quickly. Most of the time was spent learning the chip carving. Once the rope carving is done, I can use a card scraper to scrape off the pattern, and it is sort of the first step in finishing. I can use the card scraper then to smooth out the wood, and it hits all the high spots, or if there's anything that's a problem with the carving. You have to be careful that it might not chip out something. Along the opening to the shoe, I actually wanted to put in a rope trim. And this rope trim is basically just a series of S's, and I freehand drew them all on there. Each S is about a 1/4 inch away from the next one, and all of them leaning at about a 45 degree. And I'm just starting at one end and following along with the V-groove, and then connecting it into the next line over. And that actually goes really quickly, and is a very, very simple design that you can almost do completely without the markings. And I think I actually did that on the second shoe. I didn't even mark the trim. The last bit of trim carving I wanted to do was putting in a V-gouge running all the way around the opening. It was just a flat surface that needed a little bit more detail, and this just brought that edge to life. Now, last thing before finishing is sanding. I don't often do this, but with carving, sometimes it is a great step to smooth things out, and so I end up taking it to about a 220 grit, and it gets out any of the rough spots and burrs. Just make sure you don't sand away too much, but great for getting rid of pencil marks and things like that. For a finish on these, I wanted something a little more durable than paste wax, and so I decided to go with shellac, and this is a 2-pound cut. So it's shellac with denatured alcohol, and a very, very easy finish to put on, really kind of foolproof. I'm just using a natural bristle brush to work it into all the cracks and crevices, and you can see how it just kind of brings the carving to life as this poplar soaks up the finish beautifully, and especially into the depths of the carving. It holds more, and you get a little bit deeper, richer color in there. Put 5 coats in, sanded between coats 2 and 3, and then just before coat 5. Now, just before coat 5, I woke up and realized I needed to do a little more carving. So I grabbed this tiny little gouge and put in all these gouge marks, sort of like rays coming out from the Trinity here. And I just loved how it came out. Just a bit of detail that made the Trinity pop. It wasn't so flat anymore. And because I only had 1 coat of shellac left, that meant that area was a little bit lighter, and I really like how it came out. Very, very pleased with how these came out. And I'm looking forward to using these for years and years to come in the shop. Oh yeah. So they're the Clogs, and I love these. They are just so much fun. They are great for the shop. They're safe on your feet. They're not a problem. They're easy to slip on and off. They're quick, and they're fun, and they're fantastic. So I'm in love with these, and I had a blast carving this, learning to do some chip carving and doing some other things on it. So this is a collaboration with Shogun Jimmy and the Woodworking Junkie, and all 3 of us are going to be doing some carving. So definitely go look at their videos. I'm going to leave a link to those in the description below, as well as in the cards, so you can see their video and see what they did. Next Monday, we are going to be live on Made by Nation. They're a podcast, and I'll leave a link to that channel down below where you can see it live, and they will actually be judging the contest. So go ahead and look at all 3 videos and see which one you like better, and then tune in for the competition, because the loser is going to get his hair shaved, which I don't think is much of a problem for me. So I hope you liked this video. It was a lot of fun and I am enjoying these. I will be using these in the shop for years to come, so keep an eye out for them. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. If you did like the video, please hit that like button and go ahead and smash the subscribe button. Also, I want to say an incredible thank you to the patrons on Patreon. You guys are the reason why this channel keeps going. If you'd like to be a part of that, you can find out more in the link right over here. Also, if you like this video, feel free to check out one of my others. You might find something you like there. And until next time, have a wonderful day.